share my screen so everybody can see. Good evening, good morning, good night, or whatever the heck it is, wherever you are listening to this. Welcome back to the Fan Fliction Podcast. That's right, the podcast that wants you to help us write Hollywood's next big blockbuster. And tonight, we're going to continue writing this glorious Star Wars Indiana Jones-esque. I don't want to call it Indiana Jones because my mother literally thought we were sending Harrison Ford to space, and I said no. So,
I mean,
I
there
mean,
there are officially aliens in Indiana Jones, and he's
I-
also the Red Hawk now. So
yeah, I didn't argue with her on that, but yeah, so. But anywho, that's right. It's a Star Wars Indiana Jones-esque galaxy-wide treasure hunt adventure, and we have got almost the opening flashback finished. We're probably going to finish that tonight and maybe figure out how to get out of that flashback. But first, introductions are in order. Let's go to I pointed the right direction tonight. My right.
Yay! It's me.
Over to Jess. Jess,
that
how are
me?
you this evening?
oh no. On my screen, you're pointing at me.
Oh no, on mine and what people will see is I am pointing at Jess.
I'm
okay,
Brandon
was-
now.
Pointing at me on my screen.
Poor bastard.
Anyway, yeah, I'm Jessica, and I'm here to write a movie.
Woo. All right.
Yay!
And below me, 2 words there, below me is Brandon. How are you tonight, Brandon?
I'm Peachy King. My computer's on. I've got Wikipedia pulled up, and yeah, I like cheeseburgers too. Anyone got one of those? I'm kind of hungry.
Oh, a little behind the scenes. Something's weird. I don't know what happened. The second I hit record, because we were talking about this right before we started recording, I can't hear myself. So if I'm too loud or anything, somebody tell me. As soon as I hit record, like gone. I don't know why. Never done that before.
You're lagging out on mine too, so hopefully that's not in the recording. But
I shouldn't be because it's not on mine. I won't lag. Everybody else will.
good.
All right. But we are not alone tonight. We are joined by somebody who at one point in life made me very, very angry because he made me watch Howard the Damn Duck. Yeah. So that would be TvsTravis from the Wait You Haven't Seen podcast. Travis, how are you doing tonight?
First of all, you're welcome. Okay, because I could have gone. It could have been much worse. I'm doing great. I'm here because I said yes, I would do this thing, and then completely forgot what it was for a little while. So yeah,
No worry.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. I work best under pressure and on a deadline. So
That's okay.
this
Our
is-
debut episode, one of our hosts forgot about it and is absent.
Hey, wasn't the
from it.
debut for me, okay?
Yeah, whatever. All right. Well, let's go ahead and share my screen so everybody can see glorious movie script and where we left off. Everybody can see it, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. Well, we left off. They're getting shot at. They take out all the droids. And the Padawan was going to say something. Does anybody figure out what in the heck he's going to say yet?
I could pull up the AI generated one.
No.
Again.
Okay. No. No. I had to cut that out of last week's episode. Let's not do it again.
Let's see. How do we get out of here? Calm your mind. Training.
I do feel like something somewhat smarmy should be said. Like, well, that was kind of fun. Something like that, just based off of like, there's a little banter going on with these two, from what I read. They're little, jabbing at each other just a little bit. So something playful, like,
I like
that was fun, or oh, that could have gone worse. I mean, it could have gone better, but it could have gone worse.
Now,
That
refresh my memory because I definitely remember every detail that we did last week. After after they finished this challenge of defeating the droids, something else is going to happen, correct?
Yes.
Like it's going to get worse.
Yes, it's going to immediately get like a lot worse. So
Oh,
I,
well, then
I
that
definitely think the cheeky
makes it
would
work even
be
better.
perfect.
Yeah, I was
definitely
gonna
need a cheeky
say.
comment.
Okay, so let's go ahead and change this to cheekily.
There you go. That's a word.
It is now.
It's a word.
All words are made up at some point.
That's true. Cheekily is a word.
I
Think
believe
so?
you.
Yep. It came up and didn't have me a little red squiggly line. We're good. All right. So
The
you say,
computer agrees.
what was your line there, Travis?
Well, that could have gone worse.
Well, that could have gone worse. I like that. What if I could?
Could even have Mal respond with like, I mean, it could have gone better. And then something happened.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. Let's switch over to
Did I mention I work well on a deadline?
great. Yeah.
Or
let's-
that's going to be the only thing I contribute for the entirety of this episode. And I just, did it early
You
and-
just gave it early.
Yep.
Gave all your good ideas early.
I feel like that line's fine, but I feel like the line before with the Padawan being freaking in fear, shouting in fear, I feel like that doesn't work if now they're making cheeky comments.
Well, I mean,
Like
the
maybe move that to after.
Well, I feel
danger's
like they're
gone.
relaxed now. They don't know the second thing's coming, so they're like they think they're done.
Yeah,
They're
I
like,
mean,
"Phew."
even
Yeah, this is
watching this, the audience, we're
tension
subverting
release.
their expectation, and suddenly, bam, we go to some action here that the walls start squeezing in on them.
It's a trick. So
Get an axe.
It's a trap, almost,
yeah.
to use a Star Wars quote. So immediately here we could have the walls start. So here's what I'm picturing in my head. We've got this, long corridor, and right where they were set off the thing, it starts just immediately like smashing in, and they have to.
Yeah.
Well, we already had them run out, didn't we? So maybe we can't do that now. Yeah, because we had 'em-
Maybe they're not running and they're just like standing still, and all the droids are just like around them where they set it first.
Yeah, I thought the
off.
droids.
Oh
like,
yeah, that's
kinda,
right. We didn't have them
round up.
run. We had them stand back to back, so they still can
Yeah.
run.
Yep.
So we're
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Fine.
So, how would I word that? The walls of the corridor.
So this is so the droids have all been dispatched, and now we're kind of getting a trash compactor thing going on.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay.
Or is it more like a choo, choo, choo?
Yeah, that's
choo,
what I'm
getting
picturing. More of
closer?
the chomp
Okay.
chomp, and they have
Oh.
it's pushing
Oh,
them,
okay.
pushing them in that direction. Kind of. This to me is kind of a mashup between the trash compactor scene and the giant ball rolling in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ball compactor, if you will.
The ball compactor, yes. So the
I'll
walls of
thank
the,
you to never say those words in that order ever again.
the walls of the corridor begin to close in, starting closest to the end,
To the
forcing
MacGuffin.
forcing the Jedi
They should.
to run.
Is it? Are they being forced ahead or back towards where they came from?
back the way they came?
Okay. I feel like they should hear it first. Like they should hear the walls slamming, and then
And then
turn
they look
around to.
behind. Yeah.
Okay.
They look back and see nothing. They look the other way and they see like sections of wall that are slamming together, getting closer.
What's that, Master? An angry rain core, maybe?
The walls of the corridor begin to close in. The Jedi only hear it at first and then turn around to see the I don't want to put walls slamming. Yeah, walls slamming together. How's that?
Walls slamming together section by section.
Yeah.
One section at a time.
Section
Yeah.
by section.
Yeah, it's good to
Starting.
make sure that's noted. Otherwise, it'll just be like the walls and the
starting closest to the end, forcing the Jedi to run the back the way they came. Okay.
This podcast has taught me how few things I know how to spell in Star Wars.
I mean, you don't know how to spell them, but nobody that was writing them knew how to spell them either. So.
Nah, George Lucas had a plan.
Okay. Definitely, I think we're gonna need. I think Mal's gonna yell "run" probably first, since he's the.
Ah, you fools!
Run,
He's
you
in
fool!
charge.
Run. Massive X. Well, I don't need it all capitalized, but run. Stay ahead of the walls. Stay. Is that
Yeah,
how's that?
That feels Star Wars dialogue-y.
Stay.
Like, there's got to be more words than you really need.
Yeah, that's. I've got Lucas
Ahead of
in
the
my
walls,
brain.
you must stay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Padawan should talk here, should he?
No, they just
He just
run.
needs, they just
No.
run.
No, because that will keep with the whole like being scared, and then tension release, but then pooping their pants and running.
So the Jedi begin to run down the corridor, and then what? And reach the end of the.
Well, I
reach-
guess does
How
the wall
about-
like almost get them at one point? Like, does it like get
That's-
really close?
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
You have to force jump out of the way of the very last one, and they land back outside of the cave, and now they have to find another way.
no, because we need the Padawan to die in here.
Oh, is this where he dies?
This is
I
where
thought,
he
like,
dies.
So
Oh, so we don't even get to the MacGuffin?
No,
So is there gonna be like a gap opening near the entrance then at the same time that
That's what
they're
I'm
gonna
thinking,
have
maybe-
to jump?
maybe a hole opens up in the floor, and they have to go across it.
Yeah, just as the last wall, like they have to. And Padawan don't quite make it.
Yeah, so
Spoilers. Spoilers.
just as the last wall begins to crush the Jedi, the floor in front of the end of the corridor falls away, forcing the Jedi to force jump across, which I cannot spell.
You're so close. Almost.
Somebody spell across. My brain's not working.
Isn't it just ACROSS?
Thank you.
Across? Yeah.
I knew there was two somethings.
Okay.
Told you. My brain.
There's double letters in there somewhere. Dan.
Yeah, I knew it was
Cool,
something.
just
I was
try
trying
'em
to do
all.
a cruise. Yeah. Force jump across.
So how does this death scene play in your head, Drew?
So this is what I was about to say. I think Mal Chemek easily jumps across first, and then he turns around and he makes it across first. Then he turns around, and here the Padawan jumps, and it looks like he's not going to make it. Mal reaches out to help him with the Force to literally pull him across. And just as he does that, like a rock or something falls and hits him in the shoulder, knocks him down, and down the hole goes the Padawan.
Darth
Padawan
Maul
goes down the
style.
hole.
Okay.
So, how's that? I mean, does that work or?
Yeah, because that feels. I mean, that feels like it's not entirely his fault. Yet he will carry that guilt with him that he could have done more to help.
Exactly.
Should have been taking better care of his Padawan without. So he's not completely incompetent, but also like it does leave the door open for that guilt to be carried.
So
'Cause
Mal jumped.
that's that line you gotta toe, right? You're like, you gotta
Yeah.
make
Mhm.
something happen, but you can't make it be, he can't just be a complete idiot
Yeah.
or we're not gonna care.
Yeah. So Mal leaps across first and clears it easily. He turns to check. Well, we need to name Padawan at some point too, instead of just Padawan. But we'll get there.
Billy D. Williams.
No, he's not available.
That sounds perfectly Jedi.
He turns to check on
We
Padawan,
can name it Morgan Freeman. I hear he's available.
and it looks like Padawan is going to come up short. Now, here, can Padawan yell, "Help, Master? Master, help me"? Think it'll be enough time?
I don't know if I were jumping through the air and falling, I'd have enough time to say, "Master, help me!" Like more like just and then like
Yeah, at the
Master
most,
just
I think it would
sees,
be help. Like,
Okay.
because
or
he doesn't
no,
really have,
or what?
Okay,
Jimmy,
maybe a
Jimmy
little
Schmuck.
or
cliche.
just a scream, an
Yeah.
exclamation of something. Just
Yeah. I think an exclamation, just like some kind of yell as they're trying, like rather than maybe necessarily forming a word or calling out, just kind of bah. I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe something better than that, but
what if? Okay, this will play. Something just hit me in the head. So he goes to jump across, comes up way short. Mal leaps toward the edge of his end, and right at the edge of it, kind of force holds him below him, trying to pull him back up. And that's what happens. So as the Padawan falls down, we can see him and he's yelling, "Master." I mean, there's nothing. I mean, he got hit with a rock. There's nothing he can do, but
sure.
Yeah.
And I might put something in one of these blocks about debris falling, rocks falling
yes.
inside the cave, just so it's not out of nowhere that suddenly a rock hits. Like walls were slamming and things are coming down.
And
Yeah.
debris is falling, not galling, falling from the ceiling. Perfect. Thank you. I can't spell. I don't even think that's
Also,
right. Whatever.
I have a name
Remove the
suggestion for the
L and put in
Padawan.
an I. That's selling.
I
Or
cannot.
is that an I? Sorry, I'm blind. No, that is an I.
It is
My
an I.
bad. Yeah.
I changed it. Sorry, what'd you say, Travis?
Oh, I just said I had a name suggestion for the Padawan.
All right, go
Ooh.
for it.
Zafira.
Is that a male or female name?
Non-binary. Go
Okay,
either way.
works for me. Spell it.
Yeah.
ZEPHYRA.
My mouse. ZE. I like it. I like that.
Yeah.
Works great. I will go back off camera and change the rest of them. That way, we're not sitting here watching me change every. And I'm also
Should
pretty
be
sure
a-
that I'm about to say I know there's a way to do it, but I'm not going
Yeah,
to.
there should be a find and replace.
Yeah, there will be. I'm sure.
We're
That's
one
easy enough to
letter
do.
away from a canon character, by the way. Just FYI.
Who?
Zephyr was a human male elder from the planet Polynius in 5 ABY. I'm trying to see if there's anything important that they did.
What was he in?
Appearance in a book, Victory's Price.
Doesn't count. So we're good.
Yeah, a book.
A canon book.
I don't care. It's not on screen. Nobody's seen it.
Okay.
It'll work. It's close enough. I mean, we've got.
I don't care. I'm just letting you know. You put me in charge of Wikipedia.
Okay. Well,
I
thank
looked
you.
it up.
Thank you. All right, so it looks like looks okay. Zafira comes up short. Mal dives towards the edge and reaches out to try and pull back up. Oh, let's just put the pad one again.
So here's a question now. Should Mal actually get a hold of their hand or reaching out to, and that's when, and like just gets hit? Because it could go either way.
I was thinking can't actually physically touch them, holding them just by force pulling.
Well, if it's forced, then they don't have to dive.
No, okay.
Yeah, that's
Maybe I'm not. Hold on. Let's go back visual here so people on YouTube can see me. Can you see my hand here? Okay, hand here.
Yes.
Yes.
Mal here. Hole. Padawan down here, like reaching down, as the whole cliche, leaning down over the edge. Kind of. That makes sense?
Yes.
He just has
Okay,
to
so the-
see him. He's just
Yeah.
like, yeah.
okay. So the Padawan hasn't made it, but is like hanging on to the edge or hanging on to
Or he's
part.
just
No, he's not
floating.
hanging on. He's not hanging on
floating
anything.
down
He's
in the hole.
floating.
Oh,
And Mal's got him just held
Okay.
there.
got it. Okay.
Okay.
So he has held him there.
He's mid flying Grayson right now.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that helps.
Try to pull back. Pull back. Mal dives to the edge, reaches out and tries to pull back up Zafira using the force. A rock. Do we need Zafira to say, "Don't let go, Master," or just scream "Master" as they fall? Do they need to
I think
say
just
anything?
screaming as they fall. I think
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
as if not more powerful.
Rock falls and hits Mal, forcing him to let Fira fall. And that's when we get yeah, I had that right. Zafira. Now, okay, so what this is gonna be what? What kind of like I don't want to just put just scared, but
Master.
yeah, what can I put under there like as a way to say that? Or do I need to put anything?
panicked.
Just
Screaming
screaming.
master as falling.
Hysterical?
Yeah.
Could be. Because some of that's going to be to sort of interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let the actors see what would that character do?
Master.
I'm method trained for 5 years by falling down holes. Prepare for this role.
Also, at the risk of being super pedantic, I might change it from forcing him to let them fall to causing.
Yeah, that's true. Gotta be careful how you use the word force.
In a Star Wars script.
Then
Yeah.
the rocks.
So causing him to let Zafira fall. Zafira's falling. As he's falling. Master. Okay, now here, this is where I think the this whole flashback should end. And here's what I'm thinking. The whole, you might want to call it a trope for a movie, when somebody's popping out of a dream or something and they hear the word in the dream and they hear it, when they pop back up awake and they hear the same thing.
Yeah.
So this is I'm here. He's hearing master, and all of a sudden we hear master, master, or Master Chimek or what or something, Master. And then we pop up back in 10 years later. We're in the Jedi Temple. We're in a meditation class, and we see Mal Chimek sitting on one of those little pedestal thingies, doing his meditation. And he's got this, just intense look on his face because he's, reliving this in his meditation. And then they show everybody else in the room floating 10 feet off of the ground because, he's trying to pull the Padawan up in the dream. He's made everybody else float off the ground. And they're screaming, Master.
So it goes from
Master.
him hearing, okay. So it becomes diegetic sound suddenly.
That's
I like that.
That's a big word. And I'm sure that means exactly what I just described.
It
maybe
does.
Instead of people floating, do objects. Because I don't know that a room full of Force users would allow themselves to be levitated.
They're students. They're younglings. I'm talking. They're younglings, just little students. And he's literally just.
I do think
their
objects,
pedestals up.
Like, yeah. So you could even say like all the pedestals are floating, and a couple of them. That way, again, there's sort of some interpretation there. Maybe some of them are still on there. A couple have fallen off.
Yeah, I mean,
one's hanging on the side of it.
It just seems goofy to me to think like there's a kid go, oh, like up in the air floating.
No, I'm not saying goofy like that.
That's
fun. They're still sitting on their pedestal. It's just floating up off the ground. But I mean,
I do think objects is probably a good way to describe it. Like just things are floating in the room.
I mean, if a trained Jedi Master wants to pick a Padawan up and hold him in the air and turn him upside down and pick his pocket, there's not a whole lot that kid's gonna be able to do.
As long as there's no falling rocks.
Yeah, as long as there's no falling rocks, he can hold him up. All right, so how would I put that dialogue in where he's hearing Master?
Diegetic? Was that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically it just means that means the sound that we're hearing is in the scene and the characters are hearing it as well.
Actually,
the screams of Master from the falling Padawan fade into reality.
Well, we're going to need a transition. We're going to need a cut here to the other one. So it would be what kind of cut would this be? Just where we come from one to the other.
Like a fade?
I would say probably a fade.
Fade.
Because it's going to be, and again, a lot of this will be kind of in how you would shoot it. So it's more or less just transitions too, but you're going to fade from the dream and the Padawan falling to Mal doing his meditations and all stuff happening in the room.
So we fade out to this, and then we'll immediately just fade into the next scene.
Yeah, it's effectively a crossfade.
Yeah, that I could probably just put that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put that. Okay, so scene heading, and we're the interior. Whoa, I hate when it does that, skips to the next page. Hey, we got 3 whole pages.
Woo.
Interior Jedi Temple. What do you want to call that? Meditation room. The one I'm picturing, do you remember Yoda and Anakin talking? I believe it is in episode 3 about his premonitions and seeing the future. That room.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the dark shades and the little pedestals they sit on. That's the room I'm picturing.
Sure. I always thought that was kind of like Yoda's private quarters, but something similar to that.
Yeah, something like that, for like kids to learn how to meditate and center themselves and find the Force. All right, so character. I'm going to put many students, many Padawans, many younglings. Just put younglings.
Yeah, that's probably a better descriptor if you're thinking of like young children.
And then just Master. progressively getting louder. I should probably put. All right, so that'll work. I mean, we get the point.
Yeah.
Of what it is. I might have to. Yeah. Okay. So we got him. Okay. All right. So now what?
Indeed.
He slowly puts down the floating
Oh,
object.
yeah, I guess probably should, because I don't think, have we described that yet?
Should he slowly put them down or just snap to and drop them?
Ungently drop.
Okay, so a visibly older. Oh, hold on. We need a Chiron here because we just jumped 10 years. So you need to go down one. Trying to think. No, you come back. Bad kitty.
Formatting is hard.
Mm-hmm. I should have looked
It's
up how
even
to
worse
do
back
these.
before the days of things like Final Draft.
Oh, thank God for Final Draft.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Final Draft, this podcast never happened because I'm not learning how to do all this on my own.
I can remember working on a thing in high school with a friend of mine on a typewriter,
Oh, geez.
formatting it all by hand.
All right, I'll figure out how to do that later. So we'll just go with this for now. Continue. No, nobody. Let's go back and pretend I didn't do that. All right. All right. Yeah, I'll edit all that out. A visibly older Malchamek is sitting on a meditation pedestal, and there are other pedestals and objects floating all over the room, including a couple Padawans. Can you at least give me a couple?
Sure.
Give me a couple younglings.
I
what you want.
guess.
You don't
Because
have
asked
to
so
listen to my
nicely.
ideas.
Well, I think it needs to be a couple because he was trying to hold somebody up, so
If
somebody
there's
needs to be
not,
floating.
if there's not at least 2 kids floating in the air, what's the point?
Exactly.
I mean, that's what my classroom looks like. Just kids dangling from the ceiling.
Well, that shows the whole. This isn't a normal reaction, and this shouldn't have happened, kind of thing. All right,
Needs
so
counseling.
see, so what now? Mal opens his eyes and realizes what's happening and lowers everything down gently or ungently.
Why don't you just
say
open his
ungently.
eyes and
Let's-
everything falls?
I say, should he snap to and everything falls,
I
or
kind of feel
Yeah.
like if this is supposed to be like traumatizing memory for him, I would have him snapping his eyes open and things falling because it caused him to lose control enough that he started picking up objects around the room.
Mhm.
yeah? So Mal's eyes snap open and everything suspended falls to the floor. Maybe have a youngling come over and go, Master, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to name this one Youngling number 1. Youngling. That's why Youngling, right? That just looks weird. Maybe I just
I
used
mean,
to
yeah,
Yingling.
I can keep coming up with names if you want them.
I don't think this needs to be a named character.
a recurring young.
Yeah, this is just going to be.
Do we
I mean,
have
if
any
Go
name
by.
for a new Padawan? Like in the 10-year time jump, does he have a new Padawan?
He will. We haven't met it yet.
It.
Or her. Her. Speaking of that, when we're done with this, let's talk about, because I don't even think we've talked about the characters, and since our bonus episodes we're going to release. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Thank you. So, Youngling, are you okay, Master? All right. So, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Anyway.
I only asked about the name because if you go by Star Wars movies, literally every character you see has a name, whether you know it or not. Like,
Oh,
I
okay.
was fully an adult before I knew the name Salacious Crumb, and then it turned it because it's the little
It's a
dude.
little thing from Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, but I was like, it's just the little guy. Like, no one ever says it, but he's got a name. So
My favorite is
the movies are
Jabba's Major Domo Bib Fortuna. Just 'cause I think that's a fun word to say.
Bib Fortuna. Yeah.
All right, well go sure. Give me a name.
What do we want? Little youngling. Let's see. Tell you what. Give me just someone's name, and I'll make something based off that.
Donald Trump.
Give me someone else's name, and I'll base it off of that.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Let's see what we get. Run it through the machine here.
Hey, like I just
Jamar.
There you go, Jamar. Jamar.
Jay Jaymar. Jamar.
Jamar. I like that. All right, Jamar. Are you okay, Master? All right, so let's pause for a second and talk. Let's go FaceTime here. And because I know we talked about in our bonus episodes, but we haven't really talked about it in the things people have actually heard. Our main character.
Oh, you mean the ones I was in?
Yeah, the one you were in. Our main characters aren't humans; they are aliens. So I think we went with a. Do you remember, Brandon?
No.
His Padawan little girl was a Togruta.
Oh, there.
Togruta.
Yeah. There was a Wookiee and
Not a jet.
Oh.
Not Wookiee's not a Jedi. We'll get there. Just
no.
Malchamek is a Twi'lek. Okay,
Yes.
that's what we
Okay.
came up with. I am going to offer maybe we should switch them, because I remember we described the Padawan he's going to have as a bubbly, naive little Togruta girl. Who am I describing? I mean, it's going to
Lando Calrissian.
no. It's
Oh.
to me, it just seems it's really close to Ahsoka.
Yeah.
I mean, are we okay with that, or do we want to just switch them and have him be a Togruta and her be a Twi'lek?
Maybe this is Star Wars speciest, but in my mind, there's not a huge difference in Togruta, right? Am I saying that right?
Togruta.
And Twilight. Like, they're pretty close, like, in my mind, physiologically speaking. They're both like aliens with odd colored skin and tentacles on their head. And
So all aliens look alike to you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said, word for word.
All right. Okay. Well, we'll just leave it.
I don't know. I mean, we can leave it the same, or change it. I don't care. I'm just, to me, changing it to a Twi'lek doesn't offer a whole lot of differentiation.
All right. Well, we'll go.
Like, if you want it to be a species that's not Ahsoka, we could get away from tentacles on head altogether.
No, I mean, I'm fine with that, but I mean, I don't know. Jess, this was kind of your character because, you're the girl here to write girl parts. What, do you care either way, or?
I don't care either way, and part of that is due to my lack of knowledge of Star Wars in general and alien species. I'm Googling what they look like right now, and they're different colors. That's enough of a difference for me. So I think if this character is too similar, then I agree with Brandon. We should just maybe get away from tentacles on both their heads and change it completely, or just keep them the same.
Okay. Travis, you have an opinion either way?
Not really. No. I mean, you're going to get comparisons to other characters no matter what you choose. So
All right. Well, we'll just keep it the same then. Back to the script. All right. So, Jamar, are you okay, Master? I feel so. Chemek's gotta. I mean, he's gotta say something, but he's gonna have to. What is he doing here? Is well, after that, is he just looking around visibly? Not. I mean, not visibly sweating. I don't know if to Groot is sweat, but um, what could he like physically be doing here? Does he stand up?
Out of breath.
Okay.
So like panting a little or heavy breathing.
Okay, yeah.
could be a little bit. Yeah.
Out of breath and what was the word you used? Panting
Yeah.
heavily.
Hey, I know we just moved on from it, but if you want, I've got a list of human and near human species here in Star Wars.
Yeah. I was kind of looking at some of those too, just to see if anything
Okay, I mean,
jumped out at me.
we
Trying to
haven't.
see if there's any that are interesting.
Okay, well, we can do that when we introduce her, I guess.
Okay.
I mean,
So if you think I'm zoned out, just staring off to the left,
well, I'm
looking at
assuming
species.
she's going to be in this room. I mean, she's or
I assumed it was who woke him up, but it
or
doesn't have to be.
or does it? Maybe he doesn't have a Padawan yet, and we could introduce her in that way.
Yeah, I think like that's what I thought was gonna happen. Anyway, so
So do we think he's gone 10 years without a Padawan after that?
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. You know, he hasn't wanted one since
Okay.
he
Sure,
was
that makes
was kind of too attached to his former Padawan. Who, Travis, I don't know if you know this.
so he just teaches groups of younglings instead because he doesn't want to get attached to one.
Wants to get good point. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
write
Travis,
that down.
I don't know if you know I don't know if I told you or not, but the Padawan we just dropped down the hole
Mhm.
will come back later and be the masked bad guy that unmasked
Okay.
himself to show. So
All right. A little Red Hood action. Got it.
yeah.
It's a good trope. I like that trope.
And it's very Star Wars-ish too, I think.
Sure. I mean, hey, look, tropes exist for a reason. The
They
tropes
work.
are not bad on their face. Poorly executed tropes can be bad.
It'll
Lazy
be poorly
tropes can be.
it'll be poorly executed. We're writing it.
Well, sure. But you know what I mean.
I know. We're not experts. Wait, no. I like that better. All right.
I think I got a species here.
Okay, what do we got here?
The Cage. Kage.
Your son?
Well, that is the name of my kid, but they're they're a near human sentient species native to the planet Quarzite. They resemble humans, but they have striking eyes and pale skin. So like it looks like reddish pinkish eyes, pale skin, yellow hair. Warriors, really quick reflexes, martial skills, prodigious athleticism, memories formed almost from birth, known for their beauty in both male and female. There was a Baresh Sylvan was one that was a Jedi. That was a she. For memory, missed the family. Oh, she missed the family she left behind, and thus requested fellow Jedi to become a brother to her. Yeah, there's one. I don't know, it just stuck out to me because looks alien but still human-esque.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them in Clone Wars, but I cannot remember.
Yeah, it looks like a Clone Wars picture. Hang on.
Yeah, they were in the episode Bounty, but I can't remember that off the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, that's fine. We could do that. I mean, they've
Yeah.
been Jedi,
Yeah,
so
you got it. Bounty.
and if when the movie gets made and we sell it to Disney, it won't be too hard to do makeup for. So that'd be great because that's going to happen.
Totes.
You gotta be hopeful.
I am. Well, I've had a bad day, so I'm not real hopeful in the mood
Yeah.
right now.
Had a bad day.
Yeah, I have. Sorry, I'm trying to hold. Okay, yeah. All right. So Mal's out of breath. I have that little. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. A cage. That's kind of cool. Did you just do that because of?
No, that is actually it was one I was going to suggest too because I was
Oh,
looking at a couple of them.
Well, it caught my eye because Cage's name, and then I clicked on it. I was like, oh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Just checking. Just checking. All right. So Mal's out of breath and panting heavily. Maybe he's like starts looking around the room, figuring out what in the world just happened, where he is. Does that sound okay?
Oh, I've woke up from dreams like that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're the worst.
He looks.
So it's when you're not planning to fall asleep and you wake up out of that super hard sleep and you're like you I couldn't tell you what a banana was, how they work, none of that. I just like brains completely shut off for a second.
So he looks around in every direction with a confused or frightened, maybe frightened look on his face, maybe.
Stunned, shot.
Stunned, that's a good one.
Yeah, it could even be something where he hasn't thought about this in a while. Like he's been doing okay and this just comes flooding back to him for whatever reason.
Yeah, we can have a conversation after this. Maybe he's talking to a fellow older
Tremor
Jedi.
in the Force.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're going to have, Padawan coming back, Zephyra's coming back. So this is sort of early indications of that. Plant those seeds.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, we could have like the whole walking down the corridor having a conversation of, you know, really? I mean, I thought you were past that. Suddenly now?
Okay, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do Jedis get Padawans? Like, is someone like appointing them, or
They're
like how does
assigned by
that?
the council.
Yeah.
It depends on what you hell. Yeah, I guess assigned by the council. Some of them,
Okay, because I
and
was
some of
gonna
the book,
say
and some books
maybe
they
that's
choose them. But
well, I was gonna say because
Mhm.
maybe that's why like they assign him a Padawan because they're like it's been 10 years. Like, come on, get over it.
It's
Like,
time,
if I'm
time to
not
get back on the horse.
here, I can look
Mal.
it up to make sure, but if I'm not mistaken, they're allowed to like call dibs on certain ones, but sometimes the council will specifically say you're getting this Padawan, like they did with Anakin. You're
yeah,
getting this Padawan because you need this or we need you to. But they
We-
are allowed to say, "Oh, I like that one. I'm gonna pick that one."
Yeah, because that's basically what Qui-Gon did with
Yep.
or
That's what he wanted to do with Anakin.
he wanted to do that, and so Obi-Wan was like, you know what, I'll
If I'm
I'll
not
take that one.
mistaken, he picked Obi-Wan too, but I might be wrong on that. I'd have to check myself.
now I know it's not
Yeah, I don't
canon,
remember.
but it should be. But there's a really good book, Lost Jedi. It's Tale of Dooku and his fall from grace. And there's a whole thing where the Padawans have this like lightsaber dual practice thing, and all the masters come, and that's when they choose their Padawan. It was cool part of the book, but I know it's not canon. So
According to StarWars.com, through most Jedi history, Padawans were personally selected masters. Masters on the Jedi Council infrequently took a Padawan due to their responsibilities, but several did over the generations. In the later years of the Republic, Padawans could also be designated by the Council.
yeah,
There
we
you
could
go.
have him forced. Like, she's yours, deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got some emotional scarring. Take on this kid.
Yeah, it
Pretty
sounds like a good idea.
You should probably be in therapy. So here, have a Padawan.
Raise a child.
Yeah, that's
Raise a magic space wizard child with a laser sword.
yeah, that
What
sounds
could
right.
possibly go wrong?
So, yeah, we could do that. That's definitely probably coming after. I would say after this scene, maybe because we need to introduce her. I'd say pretty early, right?
Yeah.
because you definitely want to have lots of time for them to bond,
Yeah.
but it's got to initially be there's got to initially be that friction, like because he doesn't want the Padawan,
Yeah.
and the Padawan's going to feel that, and so there's going to be that friction. So you want to introduce them quickly so that there's plenty of time for that relationship to build.
All right.
Maybe the council hears about this incident, and that's what kind of triggers them into like being like, okay, dude.
Oh.
I don't know how Star Wars people talk.
Well, that's okay. I think we lost Brandon there.
Honestly,
Brandon,
that's
you there?
not
sorry, I had
that-
something.
that's a pretty good idea because he can have the conversation with one of the other Jedi masters, and they talk about like what just happened, and you've been doing a very good job of keeping in control, blah blah blah, whatever. And then suddenly we get like, all right, so we thought about it, and you need this here. It's
Yeah.
dangerous to go alone. Take this.
I like that. All right.
Good call, Jessica.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that should definitely be our next scene after we get out of this debacle. All right, so how are we getting out of this debacle? Out of breath, panting heavily, looks around every direction with a stunned look on his face. So he has to say something.
Would he just leave?
No, you don't even have to say anything. Just do the stereotypical Star Wars wipe transition where it goes to him walking down the hallway with a master now.
Yeah.
Because they overuse that transition in every Star Wars movie.
And we haven't even used it once.
Right?
Transition.
We're behind.
What do you want?
The black wipe transition that they use for everything in the main Star Wars movies.
Wipe
Star
left.
wipe, and we're out.
Wipe left.
I do.
Oh God, I just realized what you were saying. Oh, all right. Wipe left.
That would have just harmlessly floated out there.
All right. Okay. Well, I think on that note, I think we're going to be good. I think so. We got the death we needed. We got out of the. And I was thinking, I know we talked about in the first episode that we didn't want the flashback to be so long, but I mean, I think this sets up everything. That death is.
I mean, 2 pages of typings doesn't necessarily translate to a long scene.
Well, I mean, I know Jess brought up in the first episode that we're going to have some space shots. I do think at
you got
one
your
point
establishing shots. You can you want to think of a script roughly a minute per page.
Yeah,
is kind of the rule of thumb, roughly.
and
So you're only talking a few minutes here in the opening. That works.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to go back and add a little bit of the beginning of them getting down to the planet. Because, I mean...
sure. You got to have your establishing stuff.
We never named them in this entire opening scene. Like, we have no idea who we're looking at. So we're going to need something that says their name in it. And I've got a few ideas in my head, but we'll do that at a much later date. I'm not worried about it right now. I want to get the script and the plot kind of worked out a little bit to get started. Then we can go back and do it. And speaking of going back and fixing things, if you're listening here, please let us know if you have any ideas or edits or something. If instead of Mal being out of breath and panting heavily, you wanted to go out and murder a hobo, tell us, and we'll talk about having him go out and murder a hobo. Probably won't happen, but we'll talk about it. You never know.
Space hobo.
Yeah, space hobo. Hobo to hut. Yeah, we'll have him go take out hobo to hut. So, yeah, we definitely. We want you to help us write this as much as we're helping. So, yeah. But I think on that note, I think we did some good work here. I'm going to hit the old save button, which I hate that it won't let me. I mean, I guess
you want to know something terrifying? Children today don't know what that's a picture of. I just want you to know that as you click on it.
It's just a save icon.
Yeah, because a computer hasn't came with that in over 20 years.
Correct.
Yeah.
And when they watch TV in a hotel, they call it vacation TV because TV at home doesn't have commercials.
Yep.
Oh, no. I remember.
You got your vacation TV, which is just home and garden television or Food Network.
I remember when my kids got their iPads and they found YouTube. They thought the ads were the greatest thing on the planet. because we never had cable or anything when they were younger. We cut the cord a long time ago. They had Netflix and
Yep.
Disney Plus and that. They thought ads were just they would watch them and just enjoy them. I'm sitting there going,
My
skip,
kids
skip,
hate
skip, skip,
me
skip,
because I
skip, skip,
put
skip.
ads back on Disney. I saved $2 on our bill because I put ads on Disney.
Nice.
Ooh.
And I'm the guy that hates commercials so bad. I will pay whatever amount you throw in there to not have ads. That's me. All right. But I think that's going to be it for tonight. Travis, why don't you take this time and go ahead and plug all of your things?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I've got a few of them. So I do a couple of podcasts. My main one is called Wait You Haven't Seen. It is movie talk, but it's always somebody's first time seeing a movie. So oftentimes it's having my guest pull something off of their list of shame. And I've had people that have never seen The Princess Bride, hadn't seen Die Hard, hadn't seen, I had not seen like some stuff like the Hudsucker Proxy. So it can be my guest, it can be me, but it's always the first time watching something. I did just wrap up my month of August, where one special thing I do every year is the entire month of August is all Nicolas Cage all the time, because he is just a treasure, a national treasure, if you will. And so every year we celebrate him. But I
He's
do
a
that. I
real
also,
Superman.
yeah. I'm also part of a show talking about classic television, anything basically pre-2000 that was on TV, called Those Were the Days. And that's a ton of fun as well. And also horror movie centric, called Gore, as the tagline of a horror podcast to keep you up at night, where we find some random movie, usually something not very good, and we watch it. Although occasionally we do watch some kind of really well done horror movies, but Shark Month is always rough for me.
And if people want to reach out and talk to you on things, they can find you at.
Yeah, any social media platform you want to choose, I'm on all of them as TvsTravis. TvsTravis. There's also my website, TvsTravis.com. You can find links for everything there.
All right. And if you want to talk to us, you can all the things at fanflictionpod, and our email is fanflictionpod@gmail.com. So send us your ideas, your edits, your complaints, and we will read them on air and we will talk about, and maybe we'll go back and fix it. And if you do, you get a writing credit for the screenplay. So that's awesome. So please, yeah, reach out to us. And when this shows up on a big screen in 2029, produced by Disney, your name will be there in the credits. That's right, as one of the writers. All right, Brandon, Jess, you have anything to say before we go?
Nope, but we did some good ideas today. I'm excited. It's starting to flesh itself out. I'm starting to see what you're seeing, Drew.
Good, because that's the whole point. I've had this in my head for a while. I can't get it out without help. And I really need it. All right. Anything from you, Brandon? I won't mute you tonight.
Are you gonna end it as soon as I start speaking?
As long as you don't start talking of like repeating Chat GPT, yeah, we're good.
I just wanted to let all the kids out there know that only you can prevent forest fires.
Hey, the drought we're in, that's probably good advice.
True.
Yeah. We need rain bad. All right. Well, Travis, thanks so much for coming. That was a blast. Thanks for all the help and the good
Thank you for
ideas.
having me.
Yeah, you're welcome
it's
back
always fun.
anytime.
Yeah,
And
thank
also,
you.
I think you redeemed yourself for making me watch Howard the Duck. So we're even now. We're good. All right, folks. Well, for Jess and Brandon and Travis, I am Drew. Good evening and good